Ladies and gentlemen, time is the most valuable resource you have, yet it's the one most people squander without realizing its significance. Every minute spent procrastinating, hesitating, or indulging in distractions is time you'll never get back. Success is not about having more time than others. It's about making the most of the time you already have. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't isn't talent or luck. It's how they choose to spend their time. If you want to stop wasting time and start winning, you need to take control of your habits, your mindset, and your priorities. The first step is to get brutally honest with yourself about where your time is going. Many people claim they don't have enough time, yet they spend hours scrolling on their phones, binge watching shows, or engaging in activities that bring no value to their lives. Time isn't something you find, it's something you create. The key is awareness. Start tracking your daily activities, even for just a few days. You'll quickly realize how much time is slipping away on things that don't matter. Awareness is the foundation of change because you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. Once you see where your time is going, you can make better choices about how to spend it. Learn to set clear priorities. Not everything on your to-do list matters equally. Success doesn't come from doing more, it comes from doing what matters most. Take a moment to identify your top goals and break them into actionable steps. Then ask yourself, what is the single most important thing I can do today to move closer to my goals? Focus on that first. Avoid the trap of staying busy just for the sake of being busy. Productivity is not about checking off tasks. It's about making meaningful progress on the things that truly matter. Eliminating distractions is another critical step. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, from social media notifications to endless emails and interruptions. If you want to stop wasting time, you need to protect your focus like it's your most precious asset, because it is. Turn off notifications, create boundaries, and carve out dedicated blocks of time to work on your priorities. Distraction isn't just about losing a few minutes here and there. It's about losing momentum and focus, which are much harder to regain. By creating an environment that supports deep work, you'll accomplish more in less time and with greater quality. Another powerful way to stop wasting time is to develop the discipline of saying no. Time is finite, and every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Learn to say no to things that don't align with your goals, even if they seem appealing in the moment. Whether it's declining unnecessary meetings, avoiding commitments that drain your energy, or resisting social obligations that don't serve your purpose, saying no is a skill that will free up your time for what truly matters. Take action now. Procrastination is the thief of time and the enemy of progress. Waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan is just an excuse. The truth is, the perfect moment doesn't exist. Success comes from starting, even when you feel unprepared or unsure. Action builds momentum, and momentum creates results. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. So take the first step today, no matter how small. Small actions, when compounded over time, lead to massive results. The time you have is limited, and every second is an opportunity to create the life you want. Stop letting distractions, indecision, and excuses rob you of your potential. Take control of your time, focus on what matters, and take action now. When you master your time, you master your life. Winning starts with how you choose to spend this moment, and it's a choice you can make right now. Time is the foundation of everything we do, yet most of us go through our days without truly understanding how we spend it. The first step to stop wasting time and start winning is to track and analyze your time. Awareness is the key to change, and you cannot improve what you do not measure. If you find yourself constantly feeling like there aren't enough hours in the day, it's likely because much of your time is being drained by habits, distractions, or activities that don't align with your goals. To take control of your time, you need to shine a light on how it's being used. Start by committing to track your daily activities for at least 3 to 7 days. This doesn't have to be complicated. You can use a journal, a simple spreadsheet, or even a time tracking app. Write down everything you do from the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed. Be honest with yourself during this process. Include the small, seemingly insignificant activities like scrolling through social media, watching TV, or even idle moments where you're unsure of how your time was spent. The goal is not to judge yourself, but to uncover patterns and identify where your time is going. Once you've gathered this data, analyze it, look for trends, and ask yourself some hard questions. How much time am I spending on activities that truly matter? How often do I get sidetracked by distractions? How much time am I dedicating to my goals versus how much time is spent on things that don't add value to my life? You might be surprised at how much of your time is being spent on things that don't align with your priorities. This analysis can be an eye-opening moment that helps you see the gap between how you're currently spending your time and how you want to spend it. As you identify these time-wasting activities, it's important to categorize them. Some distractions are necessary breaks that help you recharge, while others are habits or patterns that need to be replaced. For example, scrolling through social media for hours is often an unconscious behavior that provides little benefit. On the other hand, a 30-minute walk outside or reading a good book can be a restorative use of your time. The key is to separate meaningful activities from meaningless distractions and then adjust your routine accordingly. Tracking and analyzing your time also helps you identify the moments when you're most productive. Everyone has peak energy levels at different times of the day. For some, it's early morning. For others, it's late at night. Once you understand your natural rhythms, you can start scheduling your most important tasks during these high energy periods. This ensures that you're making the most of your productive time and not wasting it on trivial activities. This process is about taking control of your time, one step at a time. Awareness allows you to make deliberate choices rather than drifting through your day on autopilot. When you understand where your time is going, you empower yourself to redirect it toward the things that truly matter. Setting clear priorities is one of the most critical steps in stopping the cycle of wasted time and focusing on what truly matters. Time is finite and no one can do everything, which means that success isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things. Too often, people fill their days with tasks that keep them busy but not productive, mistaking activity for progress. Without clear priorities, it's easy to get lost in the noise of endless to-do lists, distractions, and competing demands. Setting priorities brings clarity, focus, and direction to your life, ensuring that your energy is channeled into what truly moves the needle toward your goals. The first step in setting priorities is identifying what truly matters to you. This requires self-reflection and honesty. What are your goals? What do you want to achieve in the short term and the long term? What values and principles guide your decisions? When you have a clear sense of purpose and direction, it becomes easier to filter out the noise and focus on what aligns with your vision. Without this clarity, it's easy to fall into the trap of working on what feels urgent rather than what is important. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to their ability to focus on their priorities, even when distractions and demands pull them in different directions. Once you've identified your goals, break them down into actionable steps. A goal without a plan is just a wish. For example, if your goal is to improve your health, it's not enough to say, I want to get healthy. You need to define what that means, whether it's exercising 3 times a week, preparing nutritious meals, or getting 8 hours of sleep every night. By breaking your goals into specific, actionable tasks, you create a clear roadmap that guides your actions and ensures that your efforts are aligned with your priorities. One of the most effective ways to set priorities is to ask yourself a simple question. What is the one thing I can do today that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? This question helps you focus on high-impact tasks rather than low-value activities. It encourages you to identify the tasks that will create the most significant progress toward your goals. For example, if your goal is to start a business, spending hours perfecting your logo might feel productive, but it won't move you as far as securing your first client or developing a product. Focus on what truly matters and let go of the rest. It's also important to revisit and reassess your priorities regularly. Life is dynamic, and your goals and circumstances may change over time. What was important a year ago may no longer be relevant today. By reviewing your priorities frequently, you ensure that your time and energy remain aligned with your current goals. Setting clear priorities is about taking control of your time and energy. It's about recognizing that not everything matters equally and having the courage to focus on what does. When you prioritize effectively, you stop wasting time on distractions and start making meaningful progress toward the life you want to create. Eliminating distractions is essential if you want to stop wasting time and start achieving your goals. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, constantly vying for your attention and pulling you away from what truly matters. From the endless notifications on your phone to the lure of social media, emails, and even your own wandering thoughts, distractions can rob you of focus and productivity. If you don't take control of these interruptions, they will control you. Success requires the ability to protect your attention, channel your energy, and stay focused on the tasks that move you closer to your goals. The first step to eliminating distractions is recognizing them. Many distractions are so deeply ingrained in our daily routines that we don't even notice them anymore. Scrolling through your phone the moment you wake up, checking email every 5 minutes, or allowing yourself to be interrupted by every notification might feel normal, but these habits are silently eating away at your time. Take a step back and analyze your day. Identify the patterns and triggers that lead to distraction. Is it the buzz of your phone, the temptation to open social media when you're bored, or perhaps the endless cycle of multitasking that prevents you from finishing anything? Awareness of these distractions is the first step to overcoming them. Once you've identified your distractions, it's time to create a plan to minimize or eliminate them. Start by controlling your environment. Your surroundings play a significant role in your ability to focus. If your workspace is cluttered, noisy, or filled with tempting distractions, your productivity will suffer. Create a dedicated space for work or important tasks. Somewhere quiet, organized, and free from unnecessary. Turn off notifications on your phone and computer, or better yet, put your phone in another room while you work. Small changes in your environment can have a profound impact on your ability to stay focused. Another powerful strategy is to set boundaries for your time and attention. Distractions aren't always external. Sometimes they come in the form of other people's demands. If you're constantly interrupted by colleagues, friends, or family members, learn to say no or communicate your need for uninterrupted time. Block out specific periods in your day for deep work and let others know that you're unavailable during those times. Protecting your focus is not just about avoiding distractions. It's about valuing your time and energy enough to defend it. It's also important to train your mind to resist temptation. Distractions often stem from a lack of self-discipline or a tendency to seek immediate gratification. For example, checking social media might feel rewarding in the moment, but it pulls you away from the long-term rewards of focused work. Practice delaying gratification by setting specific times for breaks and distractions. For instance, work for 90 minutes without interruption, then reward yourself with a 10-minute break to check your phone or relax. Over time, this discipline becomes a habit, making it easier to resist distractions. Eliminating distractions is about creating an environment and mindset that support focus and productivity. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you're taking a step closer to your goals. By protecting your attention, you're not just saving time, you're reclaiming your ability to live with purpose and achieve meaningful success. Learning to say no is one of the most powerful tools you can use to take control of your time and energy. Too often, people feel pressured to say yes to every request, commitment, or opportunity that comes their way. While it might feel good to be accommodating or helpful, saying yes to everything comes at a cost. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, time is a finite resource, and how you choose to spend it will determine whether you achieve the life you want or fall short of your potential. The ability to say no is not about being selfish, it's about being strategic with your time and energy. The first step to saying no is recognizing your priorities. When you are clear about your goals and what truly matters to you, it becomes easier to discern which requests deserve your time and which do not. Without this clarity, it's easy to get caught up in the habit of agreeing to things out of guilt, obligation, or fear of disappointing others. But the reality is that you cannot please everyone, and trying to do so will only leave you feeling overwhelmed, overcommitted, and drained. Saying no is about honoring your own boundaries and making choices that align with your vision for success. Many people struggle to say no because they fear being perceived as rude or uncooperative. However, saying no doesn't have to be harsh or confrontational. It can be done respectfully and with kindness. For example, if someone asks you to take on a task that doesn't align with your priorities, you can say, "I appreciate you thinking of me, but I have other commitments that require my focus right now." This approach acknowledges the request while asserting your boundaries in a polite and professional manner. Remember, saying no to one thing often means saying yes to something more meaningful. Another important aspect of saying no is recognizing the hidden costs of saying yes. Every commitment requires time, energy, and focus. If you agree to attend a meeting, take on an extra project, or participate in an event that doesn't align with your goals, you are diverting these resources away from the things that matter most. Over time, these small diversions can add up, leaving you feeling like you're constantly busy, but never making real progress. By saying no to low-priority requests, you free up time and energy to invest in activities that truly move the needle. Practicing the skill of saying no also helps you build confidence and self-respect. When you consistently honor your own boundaries, You send a powerful message to yourself and others. Your time is valuable, and you are in control of how it is spent. This mindset shift can be transformative, allowing you to approach each day with greater focus, intention, and purpose. The more you say no to what doesn't matter, the more room you create for what does. Saying no is not about shutting people out or being inflexible. It's about choosing yourself, your goals, and your future. It's about recognizing that your time is a precious resource that should be used intentionally, not wasted on things that don't align with your purpose. When you master the art of saying no, you unlock the freedom to prioritize what truly matters, setting yourself up for long-term success and fulfillment. Taking action immediately is one of the most effective ways to stop wasting time and start making real progress toward your goals. The gap between knowing and doing is often where time gets lost. Many people spend hours planning, researching, or waiting for the perfect moment to begin, but the truth is that the perfect moment rarely comes. Success doesn't come from overthinking or procrastinating, it comes from starting. Even when the conditions aren't ideal, action is the catalyst for growth, and momentum is built not by waiting, but by doing. One of the biggest barriers to immediate action is the fear of failure or imperfection. Many people hesitate to start because they don't feel ready or worry they might make mistakes. But the reality is that no one is ever fully ready for the challenges they'll face, and mistakes are an inevitable part of the process. Waiting for perfection only delays progress. Instead, shift your mindset to embrace imperfection as a necessary step toward mastery. Starting before you're ready allows you to learn, adapt, and improve along the way. Action provides clarity that planning alone cannot, revealing insights and opportunities that only arise through experience. Another common trap is analysis paralysis, the tendency to overanalyze every detail and become stuck in indecision. While planning is important, it should never replace action. Overthinking often leads to unnecessary delays and wasted time. To overcome this, set a clear and simple goal for what you want to accomplish and commit to taking the first step immediately. It doesn't have to be perfect or monumental. It just has to move you forward. For example, if you're trying to get in shape, don't spend weeks researching workout plans. Start by going for a 20-minute walk a day. Small, consistent actions compound over time and create significant results. One powerful strategy for taking immediate action is the 2-minute rule. This rule states that if a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it now. Whether it's responding to an email, organizing your desk, or starting a project, these quick wins build momentum and prevent small tasks from piling up. The 2-minute rule is a reminder that taking action doesn't always require a huge time commitment. Often, the hardest part is simply starting. It's also important to create an environment that encourages immediate action. Remove distractions and set yourself up for success by eliminating unnecessary barriers. For instance, if you're trying to write a report, close all unnecessary tabs on your computer and set a timer to work uninterrupted for 30 minutes. By simplifying your environment and reducing friction, you make it easier to focus and take consistent action. The beauty of immediate action is that it builds momentum. The more you act, the more motivated you become to keep going. Progress, no matter how small, fuels motivation and creates a positive feedback loop. Instead of waiting for inspiration to strike, let action drive your motivation. Remember, you don't need to see the entire path to take the first step. Clarity and confidence come through action, not before it. Taking action immediately is about seizing the moment and refusing to let hesitation or fear hold you back. Every second you spend waiting is a second you could use to move closer to your goals. Success isn't about perfection or elaborate plans. It's about showing up, starting now, and trusting that consistent effort will lead to meaningful results. The power to change your life lies in your hands, and it begins with the simple decision to act today. Tracking your progress is one of the most important ways to ensure you're moving forward and staying on the path toward your goals. What gets measured gets improved. Without tracking, it's easy to lose sight of where you're headed, fall into bad habits, or underestimate the progress you're making. When you track your actions, you bring awareness and accountability to your efforts. It allows you to evaluate what's working, adjust what isn't, and keep yourself motivated by recognizing how far you've come. Tracking isn't just about numbers. It's about taking control of your journey and creating tangible proof of your commitment. One of the key benefits of tracking is the clarity it provides. Life is often busy and chaotic, and without a system to track your progress, your goals can feel abstract and overwhelming. Tracking breaks your goals into measurable, actionable pieces, making them more manageable. For example, if your goal is to save money, tracking your spending and savings gives you a clear picture of where your money is going and how much closer you are to your target. If your goal is to improve your fitness, tracking your workouts or steps lets you see your consistency and progress over time. This clarity turns vague aspirations into specific, achievable milestones. Tracking also builds self-awareness. By recording your actions and results, you can identify patterns, habits, and trends that either help or hinder your progress. For instance, you might notice that you're more productive at certain times of the day, or that distractions tend to derail you after a certain amount of time. These insights are invaluable because they allow you to optimize your efforts. You can double down on what's working and eliminate what's not, making every action more intentional and effective. Another powerful aspect of tracking is the motivation it provides. Seeing tangible evidence of your progress can be incredibly encouraging, especially when the journey feels long or difficult. Even small wins, like checking off daily tasks or hitting a short-term milestone, can create a sense of accomplishment and build momentum. Tracking helps you celebrate these victories, no matter how small, and reminds you that you're making progress even if it doesn't always feel like it. This motivation can be the difference between sticking with a goal and giving up when the initial excitement wears off. To make tracking effective, it's important to keep it simple and consistent. You don't need a complicated system at sometimes. A notebook, spreadsheet, or app is all you need. Choose a method that works for you and fits seamlessly into your routine. The key is to focus on the metrics that matter most. For example, if your goal is to write a book, track your daily word count or time spent writing rather than worrying about things like formatting or cover design. Keep the focus on the actions that directly contribute to your progress. Tracking provides a feedback loop that keeps you accountable. It's hard to ignore your results, or lack of them, when they're staring you in the face. If you're not making the progress you'd hope for, tracking gives you the opportunity to course correct and make adjustments. If you are making progress, it reinforces your commitment and encourages you to keep going. Either way, tracking keeps you actively engaged in your journey and ensures you're always moving in the right direction. Tracking your progress isn't just about numbers or charts. It's about staying connected to your goals and holding yourself accountable. It's about recognizing the value of every step you take, no matter how small, and using that awareness to fuel your growth. When you track your progress, you turn abstract goals into concrete achievements, making success not just a possibility, but an inevitable result of your consistent effort. Time is the most precious resource you have, and how you choose to spend it defines the life you will create. By eliminating distractions, setting clear priorities, learning to say no, taking immediate action, and tracking your progress, you reclaim control over your time and energy. These principles aren't just strategies, they're a way of life, a mindset that separates those who achieve from those who only dream. Winning doesn't happen by chance. It happens when you decide that your time is too valuable to waste. Every decision, every action, and every moment you commit to these practices brings you closer to the success you desire. The power to change your life is already within you. Start today, because the only thing standing between you and your goals is the decision to take charge of your time and use it wisely.